the Bard will step forth and loudly proclaim to all of the crew of the Thunderous Fury, you know, the wondrous adventures we had this past time. You know, our mystic diviner Pujari pointed out Karn and Essex and Clintock and, let's see, missing one, Basil, there it is, the other brother, as the pivotal people to go and rescue the poor decimated party that was drifting down the river. And as our intrepid guide, Pincher led us into the dark. Our first encounter was this terrible two mushroom men who used their confusing spores and their strange antics to turn poor Essex away from the strength of arm into the strength of slap and robbed him of his money at the same time. The poor man was so confused. And they, not only that, they were such cowards. They ran away and left us groping in the dark for themselves. But we got back together. We went forward into this terrible, terrible nightmare of a mushroom forest that would grow on anything and enter your lungs and kill you if you did not mask up. But somehow the lizard man can survive this. And so we encountered a party of lizard men and initially decided to hide, but the paladin could not hide. It was not in his destiny to go down to such a tiny number of lizard men. So we bravely engaged them and stabbed them, and they went down very easily, as of course they should, against our intrepid party. Then Pincher let us on, and we saw far more of the strange place of the Underdark. Led us around these terrible towering mushroom tyrants who Pincher warned us were dangerous indeed. And so we snuck by them. But then we encountered more lizard men, and we wanted to sneak by them, but no, we were not allowed. For first of all, they were carrying Essex gold. They slaughtered the mushroom man to grab Essex gold. And we were still going to bypass them, but no. Slaves were brought out of the tent, and the paladin grit his teeth and said, no, I must save my strength, for if I get killed fighting these people, they will, injustice will triumph anyway. But then Pincher saw that one of the slaves was his friend Eyeball, and with that, everybody agreed we must free Eyeball. Eyeball has to be free. Our thief, our wonderful thief Clintock, snuck forward and struck a grave blow to the camp, burning down their tent and blinding the lizard men as our intrepid party charged forward to the attack. But unfortunately, as we were getting there, this three-armed monstrosity started rising out of the earth. So it was indeed an insane foe, 18 feet tall, taller than any of the rest of us. We could barely chop at his knees, but Essex knew how to do this. He kept tossing our party members up in the air so that they could attack the upper reaches of the foe. Let's see. While the rest of the party was taking down the lizard men, our brave paladin finally mounts the great beast to its head, strikes a great blow, killing it and making it fall back into the fell deeps where it came from. and unfortunately lost his sword in that. I'm sure that sword will become a legendary three-armed giant slayer once it is removed from the corpse. But alas, despite our wins and despite taking down the Lizardman Chief and his strange mount, we heard the rumbling thunder of two more of the three-armed things coming in and decided that, well, fighting another day was the better part of valor. Scooping up the coins, we ran away, and here we are. Did I miss anything?
That's great.
Very good, very good. You nailed it.
That was awesome.
Well done.
Yeah.
What was the troubling something Trenant's treant?
Oh, I forgot. I forgot. But in the great and wonderful brotherly healing, Basil, in the midst of the fight, convinced Ethics that yes, indeed, slapping was not the way, and brought his brother back to the fold of strength of arm. There you go. Knew I forgot something.
Need to have an arc. That was good.
All right, so you guys are running with the newly freed slaves in the Underdark, as they're sort of they seem to be able to see pretty well, and they're assisting you guys as you are scurrying away as Pincher is leading you. You travel probably about an hour before you actually rest.
Oh, I picked up a short sword from somewhere, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I gave you one. I picked him up from the first Lizardman fight as an extra and gave it to you because you sacrificed your sword to take down the three-armed giant.
That's right. I had it on my list. I couldn't remember how I got it. But yes, the wonderful bard saved the day for me. Good bard.
You realize that you have 5 freed slaves. Obviously, one is Eyeball, who looks very much like Pincher, except he's got like one big eye and a smaller one that kind of goes in, and it looks really kind of deformed. And he is bright green with yellow dots. He's got like little bumps on his head and long arms with a tail. There's a dwarf who was injured, got smashed once, but he is okay. He's very dark complexion, whites of his eyes. There is an elf there, same kind of dark complexion, but as you notice, you see he has tattoos that cover his whole body. Most of them are wearing just like loincloths and rags, and maybe there's a kobold has like a pair of shoes for some reason, these big boots that are much too big for him. But this you would realize this is a drow. He's got all these tattoos, and then as you look at the tattoos, you realize they're tiny spiders tattooed all over his body, and like one huge one on his neck. And the legs and stuff seem to like go up the side of his face. There's a kobold there kind of shaking now that he realizes what has just transpired. He's got like a big pair of like adventurer's boots on that he was wearing. There's a human there who looks similar to the humans you've seen in Underdark. They kind of have like grayish skin, but there's something slightly off about them that you can kind of tell. And I believe that's everybody. So everybody's just like catching their breath and relieved to finally be either away from that scene.
So as the drow, the kobold, and the human with gray skin, are they part of the Thunderous Fury?
No, these are all slaves. These are all the 5 slaves.
Okay.
Now they could have membership. I don't know. I don't know how membership works with Thunderous Fury. They've been with them technically members for an hour. So I don't know if by default they're now members.
Initiates.
Yeah, initiates.
Let me know when we got a chance to rest. I'm going to try something.
Yeah, pretty much every hour that you're, walking and moving and stuff, you need to take like a 10-minute rest. So this is kind of the 10-minute break here that everybody's kind of taking.
The bard is going to provide a little light music to raise everybody's spirits. What I'm actually attempting to do, because I don't trust the drow so much, is, let's see, enrapture him per the first level bard ability. And let's see, I get 2 hit dice of things, so I don't know how many hit dice the drow has. If I get an extra one, I'll probably go for the dwarf too. So they have to save versus spells or be enraptured.
Okay. Up to 2 hit dice of creatures.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. We're not. How long are we resting? To go to the next level, I need an hour, but I probably don't have that amount of time yet, do I?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't think you guys would spend a whole hour resting, but
Let's see. 1 turn. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's not an hour. It's a turn.
so 10 minutes.
So yeah, I'm just gonna. If you want to look at the player's manual, it's page 34. I'm gonna attempt to make them friends. That's all. I'm not trying to command them or anything. I'm just making them friendly.
Okay. So you are singing a song to lighten everybody's spirits and to make sure that the new released prisoners are least friendly to you. So
Yeah.
the Durgar comes right over to Karn immediately. Good show up there.
All in a day's work for those who devote themselves to Cuthbert. Perhaps you too shall devote yourself to Cuthbert.
I do have to say that you've saved all our lives, so we are now indebted to you as part of Code of the Underdark.
Pay that debt not to me, but to those who need your help in the future. Pay it forward and have them do the same.
Aye, that's what I was hoping you would say, because I traveled to head north to find my brethren and have them return to that mine and free the rest of those slaves.
Wait, there are more slaves.
Oh, aye. More slaves deeper down.
Great.
I wish not to fight like this, as you see, he's wearing like a loincloth and he has no weapons.
Wait a minute. Are we going forward or are we going back?
When you left the camp, you went like due west.
Okay. And is that back where we came from, or is it a different direction?
You're headed west, and that's actually where Pincher said he's trying to meet up with Basil and Felix. That's where in the river he thinks he can find them.
Okay.
Perhaps we shall have to go back, rearm and re-equip.
Were there, if I recall, didn't the lizard folk, some of the people we fought, didn't they have cudgels or like some sort of weapons that we could use to at least arm that with something?
Well, cudgels, short swords, and leather armor, but the first encounter we left most of that behind, and the next encounter we ran away because 2 of those 3-armed giants were coming up. So
Right. Are we heading back in the direction of where our first encounter was, though?
Not yet.
no.
So you kind of went north. I actually have a map. I actually drew a hex map for this. You actually went. You went kind of northeast and then went north and that's where the mining camp was. And then you headed directly west. And if you keep going further west, that's where Pincher believes he says because the river runs like really low, and he figures that the boat probably will get stuck because it's kind of muddy in that area.
And so that's where we can probably find our friends.
Gotcha.
Okay. Get reinforcements, see what we can do there.
So you see Pincher and Eyeball like talking, like cross-legged next to each other, like having a serious discussion, talking. And Pincher's like, looks very surprised. He says, did we pick up a torch from the lizard men?
Did we pick up a torch?
Yeah, the lizard men did have a torch. They had one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Yes, Pincher, we did pick one up.
And he says, do you have it? Light it. Let me see it.
Karn can light it.
Okay. So when you light this torch, it's a blue flame. Because you did see blue flames at the mining camp. And Pincher was like, wow. He starts to look at it, and he says, watch this. And he goes like behind you, Karn, with the blue flame, and Eyeball walks over to like an outcropping of rocks, and you have like a regular lantern, I would assume lit, maybe low, and you see Eyeball sort of blend in because he's kind of like a chameleon. He kind of blends into the rock. He's hard to see. He looks like part of the rock. And then Pincher comes around with the blue flame, and you can see him clear as day. And then the Durgar comes over and says, aye, that's how they found us. A blue flame.
What?
And then Pincher does the same thing. He walks behind you, Karn, and the Durgar walks over like he walks near the rock, and he just sort of vanishes. They bring the blue flame, and he's just standing there.
So the blue flame is very revealing.
It is. They cut the drow as well.
Ethics looks at the drow, looks him up and down, says, so I guess you like spiders? Is that right?
I do like spiders. Thank you for asking. I was sort of born into it.
What do you like about spiders so much?
Lots of things.
Do you know if there's any spiders which may be arm wrestling champions? They're probably really good at it with 8 arms, you know?
No.
Oh.
As my traveling companion, he looks over at the Durgar, has said, we are indebted to you. I wish to fulfill my debt. I know where there's a shrine, and I can get you inside. You may take what you wish. That is my offer.
What is in this shrine besides treasure?
I am unaware. There's probably relics of an old age left, but nothing you can't handle.
Is it your shrine? Like, whose shrine is it?
It's the Shrine of the Nine.
The nine champions?
Is that common lore, or is that something we should know?
No, it wouldn't be for you guys because this is Underdark lore. This is the 9 tenets to live by. Sort of a smaller splinter group derived from the spider god.
I only know 4 tenets. It's like eat, sleep, arm wrestling, repeat. They're the only ones I know. What are the other 4?
You know one already. Eat.
Cool.
You also know another. Fight.
Yeah. What are the other 7?
Eat, drink, fornicate, enlighten, fight, toil, deceive, plunder, and rule.
Brother, I think we need to add fornicate to our list.
Yeah, it should say like
Blasphemy.
fornicate hot mamas. That's what it should say on our tenant.
Wow. That's
One should
That's
remain
quite the-
chaste until marriage.
I didn't think we marry the kind of hot mamas we get with.
Well, this sounds like a promising place, assuming we can get to it, which I'm pretty sure we can. I'm feeling stronger already.
Oh yeah, brother, you been working out more? Hang on, I haven't seen that muscle before.
Yeah, he's got now. Basil's got like on his right arm. He's got his bicep, but he's got like a bicep on his bicep.
what?
Whoa.
Did your character get warped by those darn mushrooms he's eating?
That's my explanation for him leveling up and getting stronger.
Oh, okay. Leveling up. Gotcha. More hit points. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, all in the
Brother.
bicep.
Must be that new training regime, huh, brother?
Yeah, I told you slapping wasn't the way.
This is why I don't have a bicep on my bicep. Slapping's made me weak, brother. It's lucky we've already got the champion of slapping here. Looking at Pincher.
Yeah, Eyeball kind of looks at Pincher like, what? Eyeball comes and hangs out near Ethics and Basil. I'm indebted to you as well. Pincher has told all about your training regiment.
Well, we're gonna pump you up.
You'll be a champion too.
Your new life starts today, right now.
He looks over at Pincher like, is this real? Like, are they really? Is this true? I mean, they better not be pulling my leg.
Every time we stop and rest, 20 push-ups. We'll do them together. And then one day you can work up to 40.
He looks at Pincher like Pincher's been doing 40 push-ups. Pincher just Pincher doesn't say anything. He just kind of nods.
Like I
Yes,
said,
but can you do 40 push-ups in plate mail?
Is that part of the regiment?
if he trains hard enough. Like I said, your new life begins today. You're lucky you found us.
I'm very, very grateful.
The bard mutters in the background. You, of course, don't hear his words, but it's something like, didn't say better life.
Everybody give me a 2d6 roll, and I want you to add your charisma modifier.
Ooh.
Minus
Okay.
for some of us.
-1 from me.
11.
8 -1, 7.
Wait a minute. The paladin has a minus on charisma?
Oh, wait. No. Sorry, I've been sitting here typing in Basil Wilberfort's sheet. I was looking at his +1. No, wait.
In
Looks
any
like
case.
+2.
9
Charisma.
for me.
8 + 2, 10. 10. I had already rolled it, so 10.
What did you get, Ethics? 6. And then Basil got...
11.
So the human-looking man comes over to you and says, I am indebted to you. What do you wish of me? I live to the north. I can offer you my home and all my goods.
How far north do you live?
It It is less than a day's travel.
Where in relation to Mid Mountain is it?
He blinks. Don't know where. We are on the side of the mountain, not in the middle.
Well, when we get out of here, we're gonna need to probably lay low. We have to see what our captain wants as far as next destinations. But it sounds like your house could be potentially one of them.
We will accommodate as many as we can.
Do you live?
I owe you my life.
Do you live in a village or are you?
Yes, at the base of the Sickweed Heights.
What's your name? Soon to be champion.
I am Zias.
Zias. How did you get caught?
They came to the village looking for workers, and I volunteered so the rest of my family would not be taken.
Who is they?
The lizard men.
How do you know they didn't take other members of your family?
That's a good point. I don't know. I didn't see them down there. I hope not. Particularly interesting. You have one big arm and one small one.
Yeah, I work out a lot.
And then you see in a moment's notice, his arm grows and looks exactly like yours. Wow.
Hey, you didn't earn those gains.
Oh, I am sorry. And his arm immediately returns to like this small kind of spindly arm he has. I'm so sorry.
Oh, great. We got a doppelganger. Or something.
What gives you that? How can you do that?
Yeah,
So,
I could recognize that arm anywhere. It looks like my brother's.
it is a gift of being born here, as he looks up at the cavernous sky.
It allows you to change your
Yes.
physical shape.
Yes. But even in the blue light, I am detected.
When you change your shape, does it change? If you make your arm big again, is it also strong?
No.
Okay, then you can totally have a big arm. I said to make sure that you're not making shortcuts through the training regimen. That's not how this works.
No, whatever training I will abide by. I am yours until I am released or I perish in your service.
Oh, gosh. The brothers. Great. The brothers gain a following.
It's sort of like having like one of those giant firm fingers, brother, but it's an arm instead.
So
he's like a fan.
The little dog-like cobalt creature comes walking over near you, Orion. He looks around, sniffs, and he picks up a big rock and he kind of stands near you, looking around.
Okay. I ask him, is there something with the rock?
He's like,
okay, can I interpret that at all?
The Duragar comes over and says, "Hey, don't worry. Looks like you've got yourself a follower here." He says he'll peg any of those lizard creatures that come by.
Oh, okay. The rock is his weapon. Gotcha.
Correct. And he sniffs the air a couple times.
I'll tell you what. I will let him carry what's good. I'll let him carry my mining pick. It ought to be like the size of the pole arm for him.
Yeah. He hands you it's a trade. So he hands you the rock and then he grabs this thing with both hands. Starts looking around.
That's a loan, not a gift. Might need that back. But every man deserves to have a weapon, even if he's a kobold.
He kind of looks at you. He licks the handle and then nods at you approvingly.
Great.
Pincher's like, we should continue in our direction. Hopefully we can find them in the marsh area.
Find our companions, right? Okay.
All right, so they will head west, and everybody gets to roll D6. 3, 6,
4.
4. Brendan, give me a D4.
I'll roll for my brother.
Oh, okay.
D4?
You can roll for your
Okay.
brother, yeah.
He also got a 6.
Okay, give me a D4 roll.
3.
Okay. You travel about, you stop for 10 minutes, but you travel about 3 hours, and you start to enter an area that's got you realize it's a little bit wet, and it's kind of muddy, and it's got these weird reed things sticking out, but it's actually like fungus, growing on some kind of, I wouldn't call it grass. It's something growing out of the ground, but it's got it probably is part of the fungus. Of course, the kobold, as he goes by, he takes his hand and goes, gets the fungus on his hand, woofs it down. As he is in front of you, Orion. I mean, sometimes he's got to run real fast and get ahead of you. He's carrying the pig, and then he falls back behind and he runs in front of you.
About to say, brother, these reeds or whatever they are smell like that time where you wore those socks for 2 weeks when you're working out. It's a bit much in here. It smells like that stinky gym we were at.
Are you saying our gym stinks?
Oh, not our one, brother, but that one which we went to that one time. Yeah, that one was stinky.
Oh, it was. This place is disgusting.
Yeah, but our gym smells manly and strong.
Yeah.
How did you two
Full of
come up
gains.
with this stick? If I want to
Over
know.
the top. Have you seen Over the Top? I haven't, but have you?
No.
Well, it's from that, I think.
Inspired, loosely inspired.
Loosely inspired by Over the Top. So, Pincher, how much longer do we have until we get to this? This area looks pretty muddy.
Yeah, we will be here any moment. And you start to see these strange figures in the marsh, and realize as you get close to them that they are carvings of stone of apes. And you start to look and realize it's almost like a group. There's a dozen of them, and they're carved to make they're walking.
Has the Ape Empire been down here?
I think this is commemorating some event of these creatures when for the overworld, when they came down here, the first meeting or something. And he kind of trudges through and up against, leaning up against one of these statues of an ape that looks like it's got its head missing, is a boat. And there's a 10-foot pole stuck in the mud. And
the pole survives.
The
pole
Durgar,
survives.
the Durgar goes, yeah, that's. As he looks at the headless ape, he's like, that's more like it. And and Pincher's like, that could be them. And you go over to the boat and you see there are 2 people passed out, because it's still the same day and it's still that oppressive heat that is just rolling through here. So it is really hot, and you see Basil and Felix just passed out in the boat with all assorted items that they have collected.
All right, just to continue the joke, I will take the pole.
What are you doing?
So I'm going to have to take that pole off of Basil's sheet.
I feel this pole has a story to tell. And what is that strange noise? Yeah, I'm looking for the jar with the teeth.
Yeah, I'm sure you can see it. I think it glows red. So yeah, it's sitting in the boat.
And speaking of strange stories, I could make up all sorts of amazing things about this.
That's Basil, the other Basil.
Yeah, that's my well, not my other brother, but you know, the other Basil.
Well, now, did you guys join the what was it? The Union of Many Colors or
The Guild of
Band
Many Colors.
The Guild of Many
Guild of Many
Colors?
Colors.
Yeah, because Basil joined too.
I don't think Basil joined it yet. So it's like I don't know. Zophon and the other Ernie's character were they were the ambassadors of the Guild of Many Colors. But I don't know. I don't think Basil, my character Basil, joined it yet.
Okay.
Man, they must have been working out so hard they passed out in this boat. Hey, wake up. We got more gains to get.
It's pretty hot. You have to be careful and aware of heat stroke.
Oh, yeah.
So Basil's going to like check their vitals to make sure that they're alive.
Yeah, they are alive.
Presumably he has some water.
Yeah, what is the water situation?
Good call.
Basil, I think, had a little bit of water on him when he started.
And if you had rations, make sure that you have marked off at least 1 or 2 from being down here using them.
Okay.
I wrote down like ages ago that I had 2 water skins. I'm not sure how long that would have lasted me down here. It's so hot. I don't think very long, right?
Yeah, and you're like standing like in like an Underdark marsh, and you see the kobold lapping up the water. He's like cupping his hands and drinking it.
Can humans drink what kobolds drink?
I wouldn't trust this marsh. I've got 3 water skins marked down, so I will try to, feed a little water to the 2 passed out folks.
Okay.
Dribble it in their mouth, see what, see if we can get them to swallow a little.
Yeah, they begin to come too.
Oh, darn. I thought we were going to get to loot the corpse.
This from the paladin?
No, this from the player.
Basil, you begin to wake up as you're getting some water.
Where am I?
Welcome to the first day of your life. This is the Underdark.
Oh, hey. I remember you. You got a brother.
Yeah, Ethics is here too.
Oh, I remember you. Strong, but not so smart. Yeah, you're my friend.
Yes.
What are we doing here? Oh, man, I guess I passed out a while back. We were so lost.
Well, now you're found.
I guess losing lots of weight down here. What have you guys been doing?
Who was with me? It was it the mayor? No, the mayor died, right?
Yeah.
Felix is with you. He is alive, but the mayor was with you, and Fern Needle was with you at some point. And
We got a bunch of us got into it with these with this priestess and these cultists. I think they were cultists, and they would swallow this stuff. I've got a jar of it here, and man, they'd get on the floor and kick and rise around, and then they'd come up and try to kill you, or they'd explode when they die. Some of us died. I fought ever so bravely. Oh, I was so brave through it all. But then me and Felix, here we got away. You know me, I never run from a fight.
I'm pretty sure that's not true.
But this is like the first fight he's not ran from. He's definitely progressing, brother. So good work.
Well, I mean, there was a locked door in the room, or I thought it was locked. So it was fight or just stand there and die. But
Cultists,
I
you
tried to
said.
save the mayor. Yeah, they were really weird. They followed this priestess woman, and when we killed her, she came back to life, and we had to kill her again. They would drink this stuff, and I show them Basil shows them the flask of the liquid.
Yeah,
He
it
still
seems to
got
be
one of
moving.
them. Yeah. It's a black liquid gel light in the flask. It looks like it's moving. And I tell you, they'll drink this and it's like they die and come back to life. But then if you kill them after they drink it, then they blow up afterwards.
Oh,
They would explode or something.
so that's a bad pre-workout. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got this to give to somebody I didn't like. But I like you okay.
Right. Don't drink the black goop. Gotcha.
Unless
Yeah,
you
whatever
want,
you
like,
do, don't
those
drink the black goo.
explosive like egg farts, you know, those ones, brother. Those ones you get when you eat too many eggs.
Oh, I know the feeling, brother. So we freed some prisoners, also experiencing the first day of their new life. And we're heading down to free other prisoners. Apparently there are more that have been caught.
I see we've decided. Excellent.
And possibly steal from that shrine if it's along the way. I mean, plunder. I don't know what we're gonna do to it.
So, all right, sort of contextual. Do we actually have orders from the captain or not?
Like physical orders or verbal?
No, not paper orders. What did he send us down here to do?
Right. He sent, like, Pincher basically said, once he realized that Felix and Basil were alive, Pincher volunteered to go in because he thought it was sort of his fault, sort of whole fate thing that, you know, whatever, blah, blah. And you volunteered to go help him find these two.
Okay. Actually going and trying to rescue people would be exceeding orders quite a bit. On the other hand, given the mortality rate on this boat, we need to recruit more people.
Out of character, the cards which we can call back to, can we contact back to the boat through the cards, or is it only seen?
You have a card that will show the boat.
It'll just show where it is, essentially. Is that right? Yeah, gotcha. But if the captain's like sitting on the ship with a sign which says you can go do that, that'll possibly be in the card too.
And also in the card you could see where they were.
Gotcha.
But you don't need to do that because you found them.
Yeah, Pincher's too good at this.
Pincher says it's been a long day. We should probably make camp. There's a raised dry spot over here.
Okay.
Set up a watch.
How bad is Felix hurt?
He's not hurt too bad. He's just exhausted because he's been doing a lot of the pushing through the mud and the heat and everything.
And Basil was down 3 hit points. And
well, he was down to he had 1 hit point, and his max HP was 3 for what, 5 days or something?
For 5 days, that's what it is. So he's down to 1 hit point. And was anybody else injured in these fights?
In the fight with the
in our crew here out of
I know
Orion and
I know Karn got
Basil.
hurt, and I know
I got dunked a bit as well.
Yeah, Basil got injured a little bit. He's currently at half health.
I'm trying to find out who's the lowest because Karn can do lay on hands for 2 hit points, and if we're gonna spend the night and he's gonna get that back tomorrow, why Wednesday,
Well,
right?
Technically, yeah, I was going to say, Felix walked out of there pretty low on hit points too. So the 2 guys on the raft, I think, are the lowest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, Felix and McClintock are sort of in the, mallet space kind of excess. So you don't have to, nothing will happen to them, so you don't have to use resources on them, but I wouldn't let anything happen to them. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. I know the paladin is well disposed towards me because I keep giving him loot, useful items. But I'm fine. So the brother should probably
I'm just
get it.
above half. Yeah. I think Basil's got more hit points than me now, so he's probably even lower.
And we get hit points back from we get 1d3 from a night's rest, right?
Yes.
Ethics is the lowest out of Basil and Ethics?
No, Basil will be lowest. Yeah.
Basil's lowest?
Yeah.
So he'll lay hands on Basil and give him 2 hit points to heal.
I'm feeling better already.
Come and feel the divine power of Cuthbert, and think perhaps of devoting yourself to him and leaving these evil ways of these silly women. For it is incontrovertible that light travels in a straight line to its destination. Likewise, the faithful must be constant and inflexible.
Oh, great.
Women are more my brother's thing. My only woman is Glory.
Oh, you guys were talking about that earlier.
There's
I
these
thought both of you were like that.
There's these 3 golden girls who are my hot mamas.
3 golden girls that are your hot mamas. But these are not your wedded wives, eh?
I could if they allowed it, I would, But I just can't pick from all of them.
Well, consent is paramount.
Is there like polyamory in your religion? Is there room for that? Can I marry 3 of them?
You'll have to ask a cleric. That is not in my wheelhouse.
The drow comes walking over and he says, "Hand me your empty water skins."
All right, Spider-Man. And I hand him my water skins.
Okay.
Sure, here you go.
As long as they're empty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And he so how many do you give him?
One of mine.
1, 3. That's 4.
I don't think Basil has a water skin because it's not listed in his inventory. And nor does he have rations, so obviously he wasn't very prepared.
Well, apparently you can scoop the fungus off the reed and eat it, Mr. Mushroom Eater.
So he goes into the boat and gets 2 more. So he's got 6 empty ones. And you watch him and he scoops the marsh water in the water, the skins, and lays them out like on a spot. And then you can see him kind of like huddle down. And all of a sudden, like a bunch of lights start to go around him, like twinkly, almost look like fireflies. And then you swear that his whole arm with all those spiders begin to move. And then it lasts, this probably lasts about like 4 or 5 minutes. And then he stops and backs away. And when he turns, he wipes his nose. It looks like blood coming out of his nose and he wipes it. These are all purified.
Okay. I'll take mine back.
All right. And he hands the water skins back.
I give one to Basil. Say, you might need this. You know, not drinking water is not good, brother.
Thanks, brother. I was probably drinking your water, so now this is just less. This is more official.
Oh, and also I've got 3 rations, so I guess we can split them too.
I failed to prepare for the training down here.
You're just trying to cut weight, I see, brother. That's why your arm looks so shredded right now.
It's true. And it's working. You're getting to a point where it'll look better than it acts. And we don't want that to happen.
I never got your name, Spider-Man.
Majdi.
Majdi, all right. Looks like I got to carry this party again. I will take 3 of my remaining rations and, split it amongst the slaves who apparently don't have any of their own.
Yeah, the Durgar and the Drow sort of just like, they're not worried about it.
Okay. They're not.
Well, we'll be fine. What is our plan in the morning?
Well, I think we should try to free the others if we can.
Well, Marshty, do you know if there'll be like weapons and stuff in that shrine that you're talking about?
Of course there will be. There was one of the tenants is fight, so there should be some sort of armory.
Okay.
It's unknown what condition they'll be in through time.
So I guess either we go back to the boat and like get equipped, because look at, he can't fight in a loincloth. Like, it's a bit, exposing. And well, so either we go back to the boat or we rob this shrine of all its weapons before we go save those slaves.
And Basil perks up and says, "Who? Did you say Rob?"
Yeah, don't make me use my out of character knowledge and know how much you picked up from my last character.
Yeah. Apparently there's a shrine full of treasure.
Whew, I like treasure.
Majdi kind of looks up and says, I prefer desecrate, but rob is acceptable.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm good with desecration.
Majdi, are you where is your stance? What is your stance on the 9? Are you
It is an old religion. It is old for the Underdark. The last cardinal ruined it for most of us.
if it's the old religion, what's the new religion?
Whatever you decide.
Well, apparently it's spiders. I think check out the shrine is something we all agree on.
Yeah. Because we can arm our friends there.
We can try to lay low till we get there, or at least take the front until you get some weapons in hand.
It'll take 2 full of your days to get there.
That'll put us sort of short on rations to get back.
Yeah.
As long as we have water, we will be fine. How weak is your will that you can't go a day or 2 without food?
Well, I'll lose all my gains. So But I need the protein.
You look over, you see the cobalt like stripping these the fungus off and cramming it into his mouth. It's kind of like red slime. He's just chowing down.
Okay. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I'll taste a little of it.
It tastes like strawberries.
Wow, you guys got to try this stuff. Really? I look at the Dwerger and the Drow and go, is it just is this stuff safe for other people besides kobolds?
Hey, you'll be fine. You might not chip for a week, but you'll be good.
Well, this isn't a regular place, so I guess I don't need to be regular either.
All right.
Yeah, I think Basil wouldn't do anything now, but like as they pass these, he'd start collecting fungus into like a satchel for eating.
Yeah, let's
later.
see what happens to the bard.
I said a little, really.
Right. If you don't fall over dead or start showing bad signs by tomorrow, then we know it's safe to eat.
Okay,
If we wake
fair
up
enough.
in the morning and you don't wake up, then we know don't eat that stuff. And Basil gets his pole back.
Assume there's going to be some sort of watch.
Yeah, Basil would take first. He would offer to take first watch.
Okay, so Basil will take first watch. Pincher will join you because he can see in the dark. And he's sort of, you're kind of responsible for him.
All right.
He's all right. So it's going to be Basil and Pincher.
The kobold and I will take second.
I'll take third.
Karn will
Oh.
take anything.
Yeah, I think he'll take third. I'll take Marshdy with me. He can see in the dark, right?
Eyeball will join you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is the Durgar willing to take one with Karn?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I imagine he can see in the dark. Karn can't.
Yep. All right. So Basil and Pincher. So Basil, give me a D6 roll.
D6. A 3.
So fairly quiet. Nothing happens. Just out here in a weird Underdark marsh. You can see Marshdi like in some sort of prayer for most of the time. And you guys are on like a flat, it's like a raised area, but you realize it's like a flat, hard rock that kind of sticks up out of the marsh just a little bit, so it's dry.
Okay.
Basil will lean over to Pincher and point to Majdi. Do you know what he's doing?
I think it's some sort of prayer ritual. But
what do you know of the spider god?
It is part of the Drow. They used to control this whole Underdark at one time, but it fell into ruin.
Did they stop trading?
They must have. They must have gotten soft.
And Basil will turn to Pincher and he's like, "That's why you must never be soft." And he starts doing push-ups.
And Pincher joins you. All right, Orion and Cobalt.
All righty. You said D6?
Yep. The next 2 hours passes relatively quiet. Majdi is not, he's not praying. He's kind of like wading through the marsh. Like, it's like he's looking for something, or I don't know what he's doing. I mean, it's hard for you to see, but you can every once in a while hear him moving through the water. The water isn't very deep. It's only like a couple feet, maybe, in spots. But that's all you hear. The rustling, a little bit of him walking around. Other than that, it's quiet. And you realize the kobold does not speak common, unfortunately. And he just kind of looks at you with quizzical looks, and every once in a while he laps the handle of his pickaxe and smiles.
Maybe I won't be taking that pickaxe back. I do not say that out loud. Maybe I'll spend a little time trying to get some hand gestures down, you know, so
Okay.
like, you know, hide, run, that sort of thing. Just enough to get enough to get some basic communication.
He nods a lot, so maybe he's getting this.
Right. That's it. I'll name him Nod.
Nod. Okay.
He's now Nod.
That's all you're gonna do. Ethics and Eyeball are up next.
Roll a d6.
Yep.
5.
Okay. Again, it's fairly quiet. You see Eyeball just kind of sitting there, and he kind of like lounges down and lays on the rock a little bit, because you can see that he's just like wiped out. And his one big eye sort of closes as his little eye closes inside of it, and he just seems to kind of nod off for a second, and he opens it up, and then he does that for like 4 or 5 times, and then he finally falls asleep.
And while he's like on the verge of falling asleep, I like shake him and I say, "Wake up! It's day 1 of training." Now,
I'm sorry. I will do this push-up you speak of. It. He tries to do a push-up and falls flat on his face.
no, I don't want you doing push-ups. The first challenge for you is to, well, let's just say you've got a really big target on your face. It's like pretty big, you know, that one. Do this gesture to him. Now, that's going to be a hard one to, like, you know, people are going to see that and they're going to be like, I want to punch that, because I do sometimes.
Yes, that is hence my name.
So you should you should try like dodging more. So I'm going to punch you and you're going to dodge, but make sure not to put your eyeball in the way, all right?
Give me an attack roll. Are you really trying to hit him?
No, I'm like trying to like dummy hit him. Like,
right,
you know,
right,
like
right. Okay.
Punch, but if he moves his eyeball into the way. All right. I rolled a 14.
Yeah, you know, like he's not. He doesn't seem to be getting the whole dodge out of the way. Like he seems to time his swaying in with your punching. He just shakes his head.
Lead with your chin.
Yeah. I think maybe we need to get another target. Maybe not your, so when you like, because you seem to be like doing this, like putting your eye in the way whenever you want to take a punch, you want to do this, put your chin up.
Oh.
I was kidding.
But also keep trying those dodges. Keep doing those dodges, all right?
I will practice the dodges. I will go get. Would you like some more reed fungus?
No, it looks like gym socks. I'm good.
And he kind of scoots down from the rock, and you hear him wading through like ankle deep water as he's like picking these things like, you know, in a handful. So he's doing that ethics. The wind begins to pick up. and you kind of hit with some dirt and stuff, and you got to close your eyes, and then when you open your eyes, you see the image. It looks like a woman wading through the water, but she's not making any noise.
So I look. Do I see Eyeball down there still?
Eyeball is like to the side of you. He's like he's collecting the fungus.
I guess I like nudge him and I say, "Hey, is that a hot mama over there?"
And he's like stuffing it in his mouth. He's going, "No."
I'm gonna go and see what she's up to. Hey, hot mama.
And she kind of shuffles over to you through the water. She's
What
wearing like
happened?
a long cloak. And you realize she's got these glasses on, and she's got like a short haircut. It almost looks like a perm.
Oh
Glasses.
man, you look so classy, hot mama.
Oh.
She's like, "Oh, it's great to meet you." And she reaches her hand up and grabs your cheek. She almost looks like you could see through her, but she actually does grab your cheek and like does that to you.
I'm extremely blushing. Like I'm enthralled right now. It's like, oh, I don't know what to say, but you're like so beautiful.
I know. That's what they all tell me.
So, how long have you been here? Do you live here in the swamp? There's not many of your kind up on the, up there. You should come with us.
Oh, I can't do that.
But why?
I came to check on you.
Oh,
You called.
yeah. Yeah, I did. I was like, I really wanted to see a hot mama, and now I've seen one, and I'm like,
No. The dirt you ate. Remember from Alice? Alice gave you the dirt.
I don't recall that, but yeah, I ate some dirt probably.
Yeah, I will say, you recall in the fight with the 3-armed creature that you had a mysterious vial that you took. You didn't know where you got it. You didn't know what it was, but you got it from Alice the Acolyte. And now you remember, oh yeah, she did. She handed me a big jar of dirt.
Dirt. And what has that got to do with you? You're not the... Where'd you come from? You came from the dirt?
Oh, in a manner of speaking, yes.
What does that even mean?
But I'm glad you're all right.
Do you know where I can find more of this dirt? Because if you can't come with us, well, I want to see you again.
As long as I'm your only hot mama, you will see me again.
Of the mamas.
The others usually take all the good ones because they either like water or they're engrossed with the fire. They never want what real substance is. And she reaches down to like the marsh and she pulls a big handful of mud and slaps it on your face.
I think I'm into it.
If you do this every night, kid, you will get my blessing.
Nice. You'll always be with me, hot mama. And I pick up another handful of dirt and slap my face.
And you can call me Sophia, but I like hot mama better.
So do I. Sophia.
And she
Hot
pinches
mama.
your cheek. And then just kind of takes a couple steps back, and it looks like she just kind of dissolves into the marsh and disappears. And Eyeball comes over and's like, got a handful of steps. Hey, whoa, you feeling okay? You sure you don't need this?
I'm oddly turned on, Eyeball, so you might want to,
Why do you
might want to
guys,
step away.
I guess whatever you're into.
Wow.
Spend the rest of my watch just sniffing the marsh.
That's expensive.
So gross.
So
you were worried.
Ethics likes it dirty.
And you were worried what would happen if I ate the damn fungus.
He ate the jar of dirt.
So, Karn, you're woken up by Ethics, who's got dirt all over his face. with the eyeball saying, don't be careful. He said he's mildly turned on.
I keep licking my lips.
Awake. I come instantly awake and it just goes, very well. Why don't you go over there and get some rest? And I'm pointing somewhere very far away from Karn.
I just get my fingers going. Yeah. Yeah, hot mama.
No, this isn't disturbing or anything. Nope, Karn doesn't have anything that can help. Unless laying on hands to cure disease is if this is a disease. He's not entirely sure it isn't.
You can't cure love,
Do you really want to touch that right now?
Love is a 4-letter word.
Yeah, and I felt it tonight. Oh, felt so good. You're missing out, Garn.
No, I am not missing out on anything. I must act in accordance with law and justice. Follow the one true path and ensure my salvation and eternal light in the fields of gold.
Yeah, well, don't go into the fields of the marsh, because that's where my hot mama lives, so.
I shall indeed avoid all temptations of lust and hot mamas.
Stiff my fingers. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Go now, for you are unclean.
Literally.
Thanks, Garn.
Gets the Duragar awake and warns him too.
I'm feeling less and less confident about this fight with the mine. I'm hoping I can find a lot of my brethren.
Oh, you have me with you. That's all it'll take.
So I guess you're saying you're going to go to this shrine. My brothers are in the caverns to the north of there. I will go and round them up if you wish to go to that shrine and meet back up with you. I have no interest in going in there and plundering.
Oh, but you did express that you would like to be dressed in more than a loincloth, and there should be an armory there.
Yeah, not an armory fit for likes of me. My fellow Koto will arm me in the north, and we will return.
So then do me this favor, finish the watch with us, and then you can head there and meet us at the outside the shrine.
You want me to leave ahead of you?
That may be a good idea.
If it is your will, I shall do it. I am indebted to you.
Well, can you do it safely?
Hey, of course I can.
Do you need the torch of blue flame to help you?
No, I don't
Avoid
need
anything.
any torch. I can see fine.
Hmm. But they caught you using that torch, a blue flame.
Yes, they did. I'm aware of their tricks now.
Very well, very well. Then let's see out this watch.
We will see out the watch, and I will bring my brethren to this shrine. We will meet up there. I know where this Majaji speaks. It is an old shrine covered in the sands of time.
Yes, and me and my friends can help you free the rest of your kin.
Yes, those who are trapped by these damn invaders, these lizard creatures.
We'll take a veritable army with us. For I am a veritable army all to myself.
I
Even
have
with
seen
this bastard and short sword.
you in action.
I think I've landed one hit as Karn.
That's all it took.
Very well, we have a good plan of action.
Do you have any weapon to spare?
Karn has nothing. He's got the one short sword that he has to have for himself. I don't know if Basil has extra. Basil doesn't either. Perhaps one of our other friends has one.
All right.
Basil's got his bows and arrows, and he's got one dagger. It's a magic dagger. But I don't like the idea of you going unarmed or alone. We can find out if one of our other friends has something.
I will wait. I will wait till you rouse in the morning. The morning quotes.
Yeah.
Till we can
Well,
leave.
yes. Because I am going to need your sight in the dark to make sure I keep them safe.
So give me a D6 roll.
Okay. Where's my D6? This 4.
While you're at it, give me a D12 roll.
9.
Anything you want to talk with him about?
I think we've already covered everything that we need to cover if he's going to go get his friends. Yeah, other than, perhaps trying to sway him to the light of Cuthbert.
Okay.
But Karn does that to everybody.
He would explain to you that he is a keeper of the oath called Koto. And basically it is his sworn duty to remove all invaders, those who are not supposed to be in the Underdark, out.
That would include us.
Yes, but he says, I make a special exception for those who saved my life.
Well, we only came down here to render aid anyway. We have no intention of staying.
So as you're having this discussion and it's starting time to get everybody, up to get on with the day, you realize the wind picks up a little bit, and now there's like tiny spores everywhere. It rolls in like almost like a sandstorm, but not as impactful. But there's spores everywhere, and he, basically tells you to probably cover your face. He really doesn't care. Doesn't seem to bother him. As he,
I quickly cover my face and start waking my friends up and warning them to cover their faces.
Yeah, as he walks over and takes a big handful of the marsh water and drinks it.
I checked specifically on Orion. How do you feel this morning, Bard?
Ready for a new day of adventure, of course.
Not feeling any rumbly in the tumbly, are you?
Nothing has moved. Nothing has hurt.
Very well, very well. Perhaps that stuff is safe to eat after all. Was it filling?
Didn't have enough. I'll improvise a face mask with a sack and some wine.
Yeah, as you're doing that, the cobalt is, of course, standing like kind of between you and Karn. As you're talking to him, and he looks at Karn and he kind of points to his armor and then looks at you and pulls on like your cloak and points to the armor.
I'm not getting it. Sorry.
I think he's wondering why I wear this armor and you don't.
Oh, Bard's wearing chainmail.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it's I mean, we get to wear, Bards get to wear medium armor in this system, and you better believe I bought it.
I
Maybe
guess
he
he,
wants some of
yeah,
his own.
yeah. So he does that, and then he kind of looks, and you see him get up close, and he's like looking at his reflection in the trying to look at his reflection in Karn's plate mail.
Okay.
And then you see him, he's like sticking out his teeth and looking, and he's like checking his teeth.
Karn says, well, rubs the spot, polishes it up real good. If it helps.
Yeah, he nods at you. All right.
If I'm not mistaken, now Basil actually had some armor he was carrying around with him, I think I remember.
Yes, because one of the characters, I believe.
The chainmail.
Yeah. Because my last character had plate and died. Wes's fighter decided he could use it, but that left him with some extra chainmail. So, yeah, Basil hauling around the chainmail because he heard 40 gold and went, I can haul this.
Yes. Yes. But the Durgar can't wear it. It's probably too big for him.
Yeah. He's looking for a weapon.
And he doesn't have extra weapons. Does anybody have an extra weapon to give this guy, even a knife?
Sorry, I don't have extra weapons. Tell you what, we can wing this, though. If I take one of my poles and chop it down to size, you can then sort of whittle the tip down and harden it in the fire and make an improv spear.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what he'll do.
Basil would have also a extra from Mid Mountain, but he still has his old brass knuckles.
What about those? Yeah.
That is just kind of kicking around and collecting. Well, they don't, brass isn't rust, but they've just been kind of kicking around, so he could give the brass knuckles to
the dwarven.
Yeah, to Zaius, since it's his first day of his new training regimen.
Oh, okay, the human.
Yeah,
the human in quotes. Okay, yeah.
So you are proselytizing pugilism, is that it?
The holiest weapon is the one that you bear yourself. Leads you to great success and fortune, as it had before I grew out of it.
Not arm wrestling tournaments, they're for us.
Well, Ryan sort of looks at the brothers and goes, do you follow any god? Just curious.
God of games, maybe.
Yeah.
God of games.
Does Ethics have his face still covered in mud?
Yeah, filthy. Yeah. And his fingers are still wet with mud.
God.
The whole god thing detracts from the time that you could be training.
Oh, actually, I'm pretty sure I met a god last night. She was the hottest mama. Oh, she smelled like strawberries and gym socks. Oh, so good.
Lay it on me, brother.
And did this happen when you were face down in the mud?
Well, may have had a little bit of a rough and tumble in the mud, but I don't tell. I don't rough and tumble and tell, I guess.
No, wait a minute.
But I sort of just did. Hang on. She's a classy woman, right?
You didn't eat any of the fungus, did you?
Maybe.
I look at the paladin and go, if I start to hallucinate, don't eat the fungus.
Hallucination. Got it. And I look at Basil and I say, but you're wrong about the religion getting in the way of the gains. For what greater gains are there than the gain of your immortal soul going to the fields of gold?
Yeah, the fields of golden girls. Nice.
That's like nothing that will improve your ability to fight or to win championships here. That's all for some hypothetical future. But right here, right now.
I beg your pardon. Are you saying I can't fight?
Oh boy.
You see me fight, don't you? Actually, not that well, except for killing the big guy. Just no matter. We'll make sure you see the light one of these days. A round hole if you pound on it hard enough.
I think that's the concussion talking again.
This is the way you follow Cuthbert. You keep yourself pure, and you too can have that kind of future. I will show you the way to the light.
Cuthbert sounds like a dude. That's kind of,
He's the great Saint Cuthbert.
So what is Cuthbert's highest ideals?
He's a lawful good god. I actually don't know a whole lot about Cuthbert. He would be a lawful good god. He's very I know he's very gruff. So it's along the lines of spare the rod, spoil the child kind of thinking. So if somebody is misbehaving, you can lash them and get them to behave properly. Corporal punishment would definitely be a thing. If you were to, say acolyte or whatever for Karn and say you wanted to be led, he would oftentimes, if you did something wrong, he'd probably use the flat of his blade to whack you in the back of the head, kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. That's the kind of priesthood and paladins and stuff that follow Cuthbert the way they are.
Cuthbert sounds. It sounds like he's got a pretty intense training program.
It is very intense. It took a long time for me to get to be the way that I am today. You're up before the dawn. You're awake long after the sun sets. There's much trials and tribulations. The soul has to be purified this way.
Out of character, it's like listening to a conversation in an insane asylum. It's like both guys are talking, and reality doesn't meet in the middle here. The bard is taking notes.
The first thing you have to do is pledge to follow the ways of truth and justice.
Oh.
You have to be brave, and you have to train constantly.
Well, I'm like halfway there. I am training constantly. Maybe Cuthbert has more in line. Is more in line with our way of life than I thought. I'll need to think about this.
You do think about that, but you'll have to throw away puny ambitions that mean nothing to the world, like competitions and arm wrestling. It's for the foolish and the childish.
You can stop talking right there, Karn.
You'll have to throw away your golden girls too.
No.
Oh yes. No golden girls. You may marry, but you must be pure until you are married.
I don't know. After last night, The Sophia, man, she's dirty. Oh, I don't think I could hold on for that long.
Give me an intelligence roll.
For Karn?
Yeah, Karn and Orion.
Okay.
Both.
Intelligence is 7.
Yeah, both of you probably should have some understanding of religion.
And
Oh,
I rolled
Orion,
a
okay.
16. So I
Well-
think I failed pretty badly.
Actually, this system you want to roll lower. So
Right.
Yeah.
I'm the one who failed. I rolled a 17.
Okay.
I,
Would you?
I rolled a 16.
Okay.
Am
Yeah.
I-
The ethics seems to be talking about something to do with the the 4 elements somehow, but that was probably not something either interesting enough in a story or interesting enough to listen to in regards to Saint Cuthbert. So the Durgar finishes making his spear and wearing his loincloth, and he tells you that he will meet you at the shrine and begins to sprint as fast as a Durgar can sprint through the marsh, headed north.
Okay.
And then at some point, as you can see him, he just sort of vanishes into the darkness. And then Majdi says, the Shrine of the Nine it is.
Yep.
Guess we got like 2 days of cardio. Woo.
Killer cardio.
All right. So everybody give me a D6 roll. As you have covered your faces full of spores. 2,
4.
1.
4.
4.
Brendan, give me a D12 roll.
12?
And Dustin, give me a D4 roll.
That is a 3.
So you have been traveling, you rest a couple times. It's about 3 hours in. The what did you do with the boat? Did you leave the boat there? I'm assuming you didn't take the boat with you. Is everybody
Yeah,
coming
I
along?
mentioned
Lottie-dottie, everybody and all their shit?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're traveling, it's about 3 hours. So you stop and rest.
Oh,
Go
we
ahead.
should have healed overnight, right?
Oh yeah, those who needed
yeah.
to heal D3, right?
Nice.
Basil
Three
gets
help.
2,
I'll go
and
for
Karn
it,
gets
bro.
3. So Karn's full.
3. I'm not full, but 3 points will help.
Technically, Basil's full because he can only have 3 for a couple of more days.
That's right. So you're traveling. It's about 3 hours in, and the scenery changes from a marsh and gets again drier to more of this dark wasteland. You don't really need to burn. I mean, you've got Majdi, you've got the human, you've got at least 4 people who can see out here. So a torch and a lantern, I would say, is not necessary right at this second. And they probably, between Majdi, would probably recommend not burning something like that because you're just inviting people to come find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So those who can see are sort of helping you. I mean, it's not complete darkness. There is some kind of luminescence from the fungus and various things here, like in the caverns. But it's wide open. It's probably 50, 100 feet tall ceiling. About 3 hours pass. Orion, you see your associate there nod. Just kind of he starts tapping you. He's trying to keep up, so he's doing one of his things where he's running, trying to keep up with you, and then he starts tapping you. And he's got his sniffer going, and he pulls out. He's got his weapon, and he's looking around. He's sniffing.
Hey guys, stop! Stop! Get alert! Nod smelled something. Pull out my spear and sort of, aim it towards the outside of the group and look around.
Okay. He sniffs around and starts to walk away from you, like, crouched. He's like walking like a slow walk with his pickaxe. He turns to see if you're following him.
Fine. I'll follow him, and I'll sort of wave the rest of you guys with me.
Karn's following closely. He's glued to your back.
Okay.
And Basil as well.
So he leads you up to like a stone, like a rock. And laying there is a dead Snurfniblin. In kind of rag. His clothes is very ratty. His face is kind of desiccated. His body is, and it's just kind of like laid up onto the rock.
Okay, a dead what?
Snurfniblin, a gnome.
No.
No, okay, dead Underdark, okay, dead deep gnome. Well, we are adventurers. First thing to do is make sure there's, I'll sort of poke around the thing with my spear and make sure nothing's gonna like grab, snap, etc. My cheap version of find traps.
Okay. Are you poking him with the spear, or are you poking the ground, or what are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna poke the body once just to see, and then I'll like poke around him.
Okay. As you poke the body and then pull your spear out and go to poke again, his eyes kind of open and kind of look at you, and he says, "Oh, that tickles." And when he says that, his mouth doesn't move. You just hear a voice. He says, "Oh, that tickles."
Did we all hear that, or just?
Yeah, you all heard it.
Whoa.
Okay. Oh, well, sorry to disturb you then. Are you okay?
What brings you, weary travelers?
We're on a quest. Headed, what, north was it?
Yeah. You are not from here, but you travel with those who know better.
We rescued them. Well, oh right, we throw out the outsider shit. No, we rescued them from Lizardman slavers, and they have agreed to help us for that reason.
Would Karn be able to sense if this is undead?
If the Snurfniblin is undead, I would say no.
Is he just
No.
like permanently thin? I mean, is he just really thin, or is he like, obviously got things on him that somebody shouldn't survive?
So the only thing that really moves are his eyes. That's the only thing that's moving on him. His mouth is kind of open and it's rotted and everything, but you hear a voice.
And his eyes are moving. Okay. My character doesn't care. So did he react at all when I said that, our companions were freed slaves?
Slavery is acceptable in the Underdark.
You look like one of those snitches. Are you one of those Underdark snitches? Like give him like a look up and down. Yeah, you gonna tell anyone that we're here?
Oh, great.
No. Do you have any items to trade?
Huh. Traitor. I don't know.
Trade for what?
I have gifts.
Well, I guess I have a slightly used statue. Would you be interested in that?
His eyes kind of, one eye darts over to you and the other one kind of slowly catches up. Something with flair.
I'm not sure if you've seen one of these in the Underdark before, and I pull out my marble elephant with emerald eyes. So what about this?
Kind of looks it up and down.
And it's also got like a big like crack, I guess, in the trunk from when I stabbed it into that stone golem. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
You stabbed a stone golem with an elephant statue.
It's made of marble. It's harder.
Your brass knuckles were harder than that. Never mind. Whatever. The brothers continue to entertain.
How big is this thing? What is it?
I think it's like, yeah, just like it's just this. It was like pretty much just like it was like a little statue. Yeah.
Didn't you throw it at them rather than stab them?
No, it was like it was the final victory stab.
Yeah.
I remember jumping and stabbing it. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. That was after we dropped the chandelier on it, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems that I cannot offer you passage past the Koto, since it seems you are in alliance with them. Perhaps another potion, maybe to help you. You look all very weary.
I'm not weary. You're weary.
And you see its arm move like really awkwardly up like this and like try to reach, does this like 5 times and reach in and grabs like this bottle and sways it down and like sets it down onto the ground. A trade perhaps of the gift of the emerald statue for this potion.
What does the potion look like?
It's hard to see because the bottle is like covered in dirt and dust and everything.
I mean, that's got to be even more enticing to ethics, right?
Sure, yeah.
Oh yeah, his new fascination with dirt.
Yeah, this is
more like a fetish.
this is a love potion.
Yeah. Ethics says, all right, this is I guess this is a fair trade. And I hand him the elephant. Yeah, I just put it down like next to the potion because I wasn't sure where he wanted me to put it.
Well, I've only got one item with flair, so here it goes. I'll pull out the green glowing jar with the jabbering teeth in it and say, this flare enough for you?
Cannot wear that.
Where? I honestly don't have much else. Generic stuff, but he's asking for something different.
I have something he might be interested in. Check this out. And Basil produces a whistle. And this whistle has wings, is the shape of wings on it. And he blows into it. And you hear like a series of tweets and the calls of sparrows. This is a sound that's pretty common in the world above, but here there are no birds. There is nothing of the sort. Maybe this will make you happier.
I will have to try the whistle for myself.
Basil like hands it to him like slowly.
So his hand kind of comes out like it sways like this. And you're like trying to put it in his hand. And he just kind of sets it in his hand and he holds it like he's holding it up for something. And he just holds it there. And then you see behind the rock stepping out, kind of looks like it's got mange. It's a 2-headed dog. And it peers around, and you can see it's got, you see in what hair it has, it's got like bows and stuff all like strewn through it. And it looks out, sniffs you, and then it kind of walks slowly, very cautiously, and blows on the whistle. And you hear the sound of the sparrows. And then you see the other head kind of look up and you see it speak. It says, "This is acceptable."
So you're a dog? How did you get a second head?
My
Were you
master
Essex
cast,
wants to know.
the one head growls at you, and the other one says, "My master cast me away.
Because of your second head?
He was displeased with me.
What did you do or not do?
I did not tear enough flesh from the bone."
Yikes.
Boy.
And I look down at the sniff niblin or whatever it's called, and be like, and just see if that's got a bunch of flesh ripped out of it.
So like looking at it, it's not obvious bites. I mean, it doesn't look like big chunks have been taken out.
Okay.
Basil, give me a D100 roll.
You got it. 90.
So when he does that, he blows on the whistle and just leaves it there, and then the arm again moves awkwardly and reaches into the Sniff Niblin, pulls out another bottle. It's looks more like a jar. It's got like a huge cork in it. It's got mud and shit on it. This is acceptable trade for this.
What is it?
You look very frail.
I
Do
beg
not
your
wish
pardon.
to see you die down here.
My brother's not frail.
Do you see? Has your time down here like clouded your vision? My arm is as big as it gets. For the
Your
time
other
being.
arm looks weak.
Well, it's not quite the same level.
And he moves more out into where you guys are, away from this rock. And you can see that he's missing portions, like he's got many, like he's missing big portions of fur from his body. But he's got like a kind of a chain going around one of his heads. And he's got like a coat. He was wearing like some kind of coat that is faded. But it looked like maybe it had a lot of bright colors on it. And he kind of steps on. He's like, "That's a weakness." And he steps forward again. He's like, "I'd go for the weak arm."
Well, that's why I'm here. I cover his weak arm with my strong arm.
But what if you get separated?
That'll never happen. You're crazy.
You say this jar of stuff can make me stronger.
Yes.
How long does it last?
Few hours.
I will take it if I need to juice for an extra competition.
I guess, or if we ever split up.
Perhaps you should taste it, says Karn with nothing to trade.
I'm going to wait for the right time.
Yeah, I got some extra stuff I can trade. Maybe you guys could take whatever, because I don't want to carry this anymore. And he pulls out a bundle of paintbrushes and he says, like, you can color yourself any color with these. I haven't found a use for these yet, other than for picking my teeth every now and then. But I don't think you might have a better use for them.
So
This is like 2 potions at least, right? There's 50.
do you have any paints to go with it, or you just have paint brushes?
Just paintbrushes. Yeah, no paints. I don't know when you gave this to me, but I've got 50 paintbrushes in my inventory.
That's right. It was a randomized paint brushes.
Like, you can get the color red, and I like go to use the does this Sniff Niblin have blood coming out of him? Or is it all dried? No? Okay.
It's gone.
All right. Well, I say, well, I'd share some of this brown color I've got. I've just got like, because I'm covered in dirt. But that's like my hot mama's juices. So I can't share that. You made this. This is your fault, Peter. You're just giving me material. I'm playing with it.
That's right. Hey, when I throw you a softball, you got to hit it out of the park, man. That's all you got to do. So he says, no. Any of you blacksmiths?
I don't know how close that is. I'm a miner. I mean, vaguely related.
What'd you say, Paul?
Karn was once a mason, not a blacksmith.
The Snarfdiblin reaches again into his pocket and pulls out like a long piece of rusty, like it's like chain, but it's really small. And a few of the links are broken. He says, if you can affix this to my neck. And he looks down at the marble elephant. I will gift you.
I'm no serving maid.
Well, heck, it fulfills the requirement, even though it's the cheap way around. You know, I've got twine. I will try to arrange, arrange the chain and hook the whole mess together with the twine so that it stays together, even if it's not, fixed or fixable. But I mean, I should be able to at least loop the twine in amongst the chain and maybe, tie it around the elephant and sort of get it into one piece, even if it isn't that, even if it isn't that pretty. Or is he talking, or is this the dog talking?
Yeah, this is what the dog wants. So yeah, I mean, give me a D100 roll.
All righty. $59.59.
Again, does the same thing, and the Snarfdiblin pulls out like it almost looks like a teardrop. It's really big, but there's like one drop of something in it. It says, I will gift this to you. The gift of foresight. Be very, very cautious when you use this.
I mean, is this dangerous?
The future is always dangerous.
Okay. I'll take it. I mean, hard to turn down crazy shit from a mostly dead deep gnome and almost a Cerberus.
Almost, yeah.
So as he does that, he's got his new elephant chain around his one head's neck, and the other one kind of grabs the whistle in his teeth. And he kind of looks, he growls a little bit, and he steps forward and looks at Karn. If I was with my master, he would slay a follower of Cuthbert in just 1 second. But I am not with my master anymore. And you have helped, kind of peers past you and looks at the drow. You have helped those down here. I will grant you safe passage for the next few hours as a courtesy.
Your master would be welcome to try to slay me. But we'll take the safe passage, whatever we can get.
Well, anytime you wish to step into hell, he shall be waiting.
Well, I hope one day to step into hell, to bring the light of Cuthbert there too, and free those who are trapped there, who don't belong.
Okay.
he just kind of huffs at that, and you hear sparrows as he starts to blow on the whistle, and he turns and just kind of runs off. And then you see the Snurf Niblin, the what looked like he had eyes just kind of they're just gone, and his body just kind of slumps a little bit. And slowly that body just turns to dust. And Majdi looks relieved.
And Basil says, "Oh, so you guys are just going to drink stuff that a down demon from hell are going to give you, huh?"
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty good.
You can watch over me when I try to gain the gift of foresight. How about that?
Okay. Just like I noticed earlier. Strong, not smart.
Yep.
So yeah, there's no need to roll because the next 3 hours are safe passage as you make your way through the Underdark. It's more or less barren through here as Majdi leads you to the Shrine of the Nine. He would mention that it is very, very fortunate that your Durgar friend was not there, because he may have attacked the dog, which he knows is a Kutail. From what he has heard, is that dog was banished from his master from hell, and for some reason is in the Underdark, and he's been here for who knows how many hundreds of years. But he would give potions to those who are in the Underdark, because the Durgar would go around looking for people, and how they would determine if you weren't born here is they would cut your arm and you bleed differently than somebody from the Underdark. And he would give you a potion that would show that you bleed like you're supposed to. They did not like Kutail for doing that, but since you're sort of accepted down here, at least Kutail could tell for some reason that the Koto weren't going to bother you. He did not offer you that potion. All right, so it's D6 rolls as we enter the next hex.
Everybody?
Yep.
Basil gets a 5.
Anyone roll a 1?
5.
All right, Russell, give me a D4 roll.
Okay. 3.
So the scenery changes. There are a lot more mushrooms. They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's kind of like the size of some are higher, as high as like 2-story houses. I mean, they're getting massive. And there, of course, the spores are in the air, and you're kind of covering your mouth. And he's leading you in and out of these open caverns. D6 rolls one more time.
2.
6.
No 1. So we, Brendan, give me a D4 roll.
1.
He kind of finds an open, it's all open, an area that doesn't have as many mushrooms and stuff in it. And Majdi says, "This is probably our safest bet, is to rest here before we proceed the next day. We'll make it to the shrine by the end of our travels tomorrow."
Want to do the same watches, except the paladin's going to have to choose a different person.
Yeah, somebody who can see in the dark is all he's worried about.
Yeah, Majdi will probably sit near you.
Okay. That's the drow, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Who is in his loincloth and has lots of tattoos that look like spiders.
Yeah. I was just making sure I remembered the names.
Yep.
Right.
So Basil and Pincher, as you set up your camp.
So it's a D6 or D12?
D6.
5.
Okay. Nothing happens. Some weird noises out here. You can almost hear like the mushrooms. You can almost like, it sounds like there's inner workings, like things moving and gurgling. Lots of spores. Anything you want to talk, anything you want to do specifically while you're on watch?
I don't think so. I think Basil would just kind of look around, take in the scenery. He'd probably be wondering whether or not some of the, like, how edible these mushrooms are.
Pincher says as long as you find one that doesn't scream.
Basil says nothing to that.
What can you really say?
Right.
All right. Nod and Orion, as Nod is next to you, watching, licking the handle of his pickaxe.
Great.
Nod actually does go over to one of the mushrooms and like uses the pickaxe to hack some of the pieces off and comes back and he's got a big pile in front of him. He's just wolfing it down, eating it.
All right. It didn't hurt me last night, so just take a little bite. Nothing major. Just a little.
Okay. Give you a D6 roll.
D6. 5.
Roll, give me a con check. So whatever your con is, roll underneath it.
Hopefully. 3. So yes.
Okay. You have the urge to hurl, but you do not throw up.
Okay.
And Nod is just doing, he's like, yeah. He's like, good stuff, right? Yeah.
Nod's going, yeah, good shit. And I'm going,
That is your watch if you wish to do anything else. If not, we'll go to ethics and eyeball.
nah, I'll just keep up the hand stuff with Nod just in case.
Okay. Yeah, good. Yeah. Okay.
All right, eyeball. It's day 2 of our training, and now we've taught you how to dodge. So now I'm going to teach you how to hit. So I'm going to hand these down to you. You make good use of them, and I hand in my old brass knuckles.
Oh, wow.
And I say, all right, now give me your best punch. Come on, I can take it.
Okay, I roll a 17 on the die.
That's a hit.
So yeah, he hits you. He looks shocked, and then like, uh-oh, was I supposed to do that?
Whoa. Okay, you've got a strong swipe on you there. Remember to keep your form like that, not like this. We're not doing slaps anymore. You're not the slap champion, all right?
Oh, that's Pincher.
That's Pincher. That's not you, all right, eyeball? And then after that, what we do is we thank the hot mamas for blessing us with these gains, and then we put our face in the dirt for a little bit. So I do. Just cover myself in like shit and dirt and whatever I can find on the ground.
Okay, so yeah. So Pincher, Eyeball walks over and gets a bunch of dirt and stuffs it in his face, and he walks over to one of the like big tall mushrooms and starts hitting it.
Nice. And I just help him with his training for the rest of the watch.
Okay.
I didn't roll a D6.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, it does matter. Oh shit.
Oh, it does matter. Yeah, you probably should roll a D6.
I got a 6.
Okay. Yeah. You think you hear faint screams from the mushroom that Eyeball is punching, but it's hard to tell. Karn and Majdi.
Karn and modesty. Karn's probably a little skeptical of the drow.
Okay.
He
You get the
might know a
feel. You
little-
get the feeling that he is very skeptical of you as well.
Yeah. I can just imagine us, sitting across staring at each other, just like, yeah, go ahead, make the first move. No, actually, he's proven himself to be fairly useful. So Karn says to him, have you ever given thought to changing your path in life?
I already have.
Is that so? What path are you following now?
My own.
Oh. Is that leading you to lawfulness and goodness, bravery and honesty?
I don't know if I would define it in those terms.
It's worth thinking about. The rewards are great. Fields of gold for your eternal soul.
But I'm here.
You are here. But what do you think happens to you when you die?
I don't know, does Cuthbert, were you made to join? Were you born into it? Did they give you some ritual?
I was a mason. I worked in stone. One day I was called, and I went to my local monastery and I joined.
So you joined this Cuthbert. Did they all brandish rocks and stone you?
No, actually, what they used were switches and sometimes iron rods to the back of the head. Gently, of course.
Boy, that
You know,
explains the thing.
but thick heads are not made of glass.
So you can choose this Cuthbert.
Exactly.
I had no choice as he kind of looks down at all his tattoos.
What do you feel inside you? Do you feel like you should do good for this world?
I feel that I should look out for myself and
Well,
honor my
you
debts.
You're not off on a bad start. You cannot pour from an empty cup, so you do have to look out for yourself first.
Is this
Well,
Cuthbert so wordy all the time?
Cuthbert speaks a little bit less. He also speaks softly. Carries a big stick, though. I'll leave you be. Let me know if you see anything.
I will. I think we've survived Kutail. I think we should be safe. I can purify your liquids in the morning.
That's immensely helpful. See, this is a good thing that you're doing. I believe you have good in you.
He goes off and he kind of turns away and see him like meditating. And then at times it looks like those spiders are moving on his body. All right, it is the morning. So morning time. Brendan, give me a D12 roll.
7.
And I picked the right person. So you all rise to a warm, pleasant breeze blowing through. There are no excess spores. It's almost comforting. It feels nice.
Thank you, Dirty Mama, for your blessings this morning. Oh, yeah.
You see Eyeball just kind of laying there. His face, he's got dirt on his face, and there's mushroom pieces all on his hands. He's like, I think I feel the gains already.
Wow.
Imagine after a week, Eyeball. This is only day 2.
I think getting captured and put in that slave camp was the best thing that ever happened to me.
They definitely they didn't give you the things that you needed, but we got you now, Eyeball.
Good.
Make sure those brass knuckles are shiny.
Oh, I will. Yes. I will shine them on the way. All right. Unless you want to do anything else. Oh yeah, Majdi says that he will purify any liquids if you have any water, because there's no water around here.
I guess the water skins which I used that day, I would give to him. See what he does with them.
Well, I mean, short of pissing in a water skin, it's not like I've got stuff to purify.
That is a liquid.
Which I suppose would work.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, since he says that, I'll look at Nod and say, any mushrooms we can like get some fluid out of.
He licks the pick handle a couple times, looks at you and tilts his head. And then he walks over to like the mushroom. And,
okay.
like, hacks at it a couple times. There's a audible scream. And some kind of like milky white, it looks like curdled milk comes out of it. And of course he cups his hand and grabs it and starts drinking it.
I'm getting the idea this guy's con is like way higher than mine.
But it's a fluid. Come on, let's fill them up.
Yeah. He said he could purify it, so yeah.
Or pretty
I guess
much
we've gone through what? One skin since it's been one day about, so.
Yeah, he can do up to 6.
Okay.
Fill them up.
Yeah, everyone which used one that day, yeah, we'll just fill them all up.
Okay, so yeah, he does that again, does that prayer. Same thing happens. You see the lights, and the spiders seem to move all over his body. And he turns around and you can see there's blood like all over his face. He's wiping it off as it looks like it's come out of his nose. And he hands you the wine skins.
Was anybody still down on hit points yesterday?
Oh, that's right.
Basil's still down. He's got a roll for 3 health back.
Karn can give you 2. Could have given you 2 more.
I just went to full as well, so I'm at full hit points.
I could take two more on top of that, because that would get me almost to full.
Yeah, Karn would have done that for you last night. If we can retcon that, if not.
Yeah, no, that's not really a retcon. I mean, you'd know to do that, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So the character who was maimed and down max hit points, has it been enough time for them to be better?
I think Basil's got like what, 1 more day probably? It's like 5 days. So you've been out here a couple. Yeah, he's probably got 1 more day.
Okay. The other Basil, yeah.
Yep. All right, so D6 roll, and then we'll see how the next day's journey here in Underdark is.
2.
3 for me.
3.
Okay.
Juices.
2.
2. So there are no random encounters here along Dustin D4 roll.
2.
So it's 2 more hours of these mushrooms, same kind of scenery as Majdi takes you through these paths. And you begin to step out into kind of a different environment. These, they change, the mushrooms get smaller and smaller till there's like, they're real tiny, and there's nothing, and he of course warns you not to step on certain ones, because you don't want to have to listen to them scream. And then you see in the distance that there's like these larger kind of like fungal things that you've seen before. They look like they have leaves, but they're not really leaves. It's kind of like fungus, and they kind of move, they kind of sway. D6 rolls.
6.
6.
4.
1.
1. All right, give me a D12 roll, and Russell, give me a D4 roll.
12.
Yeah.
Another 12.
Yeah.
Well, gotta roll new characters.
All right, it's time for initiative.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
I'm first. I got the +2.
Okay.
I rolled a 6.
Okay. I also got a 6 with modifier.
Oh, you're up first. I will tell you,
So,
as
yeah.
you are traveling out and these kind of weird, like plant fungus things are swaying, you feel like a slight rumbling a little bit, and then all of a sudden, these centipede-like things come like snaking around this this large like fungal tree, headed in your direction. It's got a bunch of segmented eyes, as you can see, and it's kind of a furry mouth with some teeth, and it's got like 1,000 legs on it, and it's moving like a snake.
Right.
Whip out the sling and sling a stone at it.
All right.
Miss. 9 misses guaranteed, right?
Yes, a 9 actually does miss.
Okay.
So ethics looks at Eyeball and says, all right, well, day 3 trainings come a little bit early. You're probably going to need one of these. And I toss him a Percival rock, and I say, now get ready to blast this guy, or put a dent in him, either one. And I get ready to line up one of my rocks.
Okay, go ahead.
And throw it. Yeah.
Where the heck did you guys get +1 rocks?
Percival. he was one of the Sniff Nibblins, and he was a rock collector.
Okay.
He was a former player who died.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how we remember him. And I got a 16 to hit.
That's a hit.
D4, I'm pretty sure. For the Percival rocks with a +1.
Yeah, D4 +1.
And I got 5. Bang.
Nice.
So you throw it, and you see this thing. The rock just buries right into. You hear a audible splat noise, like it went inside of it, and it explodes, and you see a bunch of goo and just come flying out.
Well, I don't think we're getting that one back.
How many of these centipedes are there?
Give me a D6 roll.
Oh, God.
2.
You actually, as you say that, you see this other one you hear, and then you look over to your left and see another one snaking through these like large fern fungus things. So there's a second one coming.
Did it look like that Percival rock? We saw the splat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe we saw the splat. Depends on whether it's within light, whether it's within torchlight. Does it look like it's still alive?
Yeah.
Okay. Basil's gonna say, "I'll get the one on the left, brother," and he's gonna chuck a Percival rock at it.
One on the left.
Yeah, that's a miss. That's a 6.
Okay.
Is Karn and Basil both going to be in this fight, or am I?
That is up to you. You can decide.
I mean, I can run them both if we're able to. I mean, anything.
Yeah,
else,
if you want to
right?
run them both, I'm fine with that.
Okay, I can.
The
I
risk
can
is there, though,
do
to
that.
get whacked on both of them, though.
Well, that's I figured the risk is there whether they're fighting or not, right?
Oh, okay.
If you make Basil sort of in the out of the way space, I wouldn't make him a target.
I can imagine Basil finding Mallet space on his own, like cowardly, like just
Yeah.
diving in, just piping his head out, like, "Oh, treasure."
Yeah, I guess let's do that for now. It'll just be Karn.
Okay.
He steps up to the closest one. I guess that's the one on the right we've already engaged. And he's going to try to get it with his short sword. And 17.
Yep.
These dice are friendlier to me than the other ones. A D6, 3.
You can tell me how it dies.
Just by chopping its head off, of course.
Okay. Yes. And it stops in its place. And like slime starts to just like run out of it everywhere.
Cuthbert is with me. He pivots and is readying to go after the other one.
Let's see. Now, if you want Nod to attack or eyeball or pincher, just let me know.
I'll tell Nod to stick next to me and attack if one gets close.
Okay.
And Eyeball is going to hopefully throw a Percival rock.
Okay. Give me an attack roll.
And he most likely missed because you only rolled the 6.
Yep.
The Pincher is going to be brave and try to use his newfound training and attempt to punch, run and punch one of the oncoming centipede.
Okay.
Nice.
That's a 9.
How good's the training? How many modifiers did you give him?
He just misses. He hits it, but just not enough, and he just kind of bounces off. It goes in, it goes poof, boom. He has a +1 to hit. So Majdi has like closed his eyes, and he has grabbed like the blue torch and strikes it. So we could say that he had that up, so you have some kind of light. And your other guy, Zeiss, kind of scurries around, and he's probably carrying like a lantern, and he has turned the lantern on.
Okay.
So he's your lantern holder. So let's see. Got Pincher and Basil. Well, Pincher's right there.
Can't see it. What is it?
Tries to snap at Pincher and misses.
Get him, Pincher. You just gotta get in there deep.
Next round, I got a 4.
Who else has a +2?
I've got a +1.
Same. That can go for the +1.
Okay. I'll go next turn if there is one.
2.
Okay, so I'm going to give him a little bit. So it turns and the creature flees into the Underdark and is gone.
Right. I guess one more victory in the Underdark.
Majdi comes over and kind of looks at you, Orion. He's like, "Send your friend inside," as he points to the centipede. There are things to harvest.
I'll look at Nod and say, "Harvest." See, making a cutting motion.
He excitedly runs over to like where the head got cut off, and he starts making his way, like squirming. You can hear the as he like goes inside. He's like, you can see the centipede moving in like from the outside as he's squirming in there.
Yeah, I don't want to know how many centipede parts he's going to end up eating. It's going to be most of them.
Lift the centipede's like, I don't know, mouth wherever he went through and I say, "Hey, can you find the rock in there? Thanks." Then shut it again.
Give me that rock.
Find my rock.
After about, I don't know, 10 minutes, he comes back out with a slimy rock that he's all excited and hands it to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he's got like
Thanks.
a big sort of like some sort of membrane that's got a bunch of liquid in it.
Okay. Anything else?
Wonder what the liquid is.
You can see he's holding a liquid, like trying to hand it to somebody.
I'll take it, but I'll turn to Majdi and say, "What is this?"
It is sustenance. It does not need to be purified.
Okay.
Sustenance for who?
For all of us.
That sounds frightening. Very well.
Yep. Not going to turn down more food. We're a long ways from the surface here.
Yeah, we really are. We're on day 3 now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So with the winner comes the spoils, and I bite down on it.
On what? The centipede?
Whatever the thing, like, what is this membrane thing? Whatever.
Yeah,
that is.
it's like a big membrane with a bunch of goop in it. And as you go to do that, he opens it up. He kind of sets it down, and it sort of sets there. It's like real gelatinous, kind of like
a sack of liquid or something.
yeah, but it's real viscous. And he kind of picks it up, and you can see it, and just hands you some to gnaw on.
Gnawing on a viscous liquid sounds like it's a good imagery. Like,
Well done.
Okay. Well, I've been game so far. I'll try a little, see what it's like.
It smells putrid and very salty.
Well, again, a long way from home, low on rations. So
He goes to ask for that twine or whatever to tie it up.
okay.
And then, of course, it's like way too big for him to carry. So he's looking to hand it off to somebody.
Can
Well,
Basil carry it?
Basil would take it. Or which
Yeah.
Basil?
Wilberforce?
Well, yeah.
Can he carry it?
Yeah, I mean, Zeiss comes over and offers to carry it.
That's a human.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, he wasn't doing anything else. So yeah.
So you dispatch the centipedes. We go to another D6 roll for everybody as we move further into this hex.
3, 2.
4.
Okay.
Or
For Paul, Karn, Basil, give me a D4 roll.
3.
you too, Dustin. D4.
Oh no, no, it's
Oh,
No,
I
it's-
thought you said Karn and Basil. Oh,
Yeah, well-
the other Basil. Gotcha.
all right. So 3. Okay. So you're moving along again through these like fern-like things. 3 hours pass and there's nothing going on out here. No more random centipede attacks. And Majdi says, few hours, we shall make it to the shrine. Should we rest now or should we continue?
Do you expect others at the shrine who would argue with us desecratigates?
No, there's nobody. It's been abandoned for centuries.
What do you guys think?
It's only a few hours. We could press onward.
I feel ready.
Yeah.
Yep, we should continue.
Okay.
It's not like it's day and night here, right?
Correct.
So no way to ride in the sunshine or something like that going on.
So you finally leave this kind of landscape, and then it slowly looks like hills, but they're more like dunes of like rock and dust, and that warm, pleasant breeze blowing eventually sometimes will blow up some of the dirt. And then Majdi kind of gets you all to stop and kind of like lay low. And coming up over the dunes, you see 3 individuals just kind of walking along. They look like, you would guess, adventurers because they all look human. At least from this distance, I mean, they look humanoid.
Everyone with arrows. Do you know anything about them much?
There are strangers that come down here. I mean, it could be a group similar to yours.
I think we should wait till they get closer before just determining what to do. Watch them for a little longer.
Okay. They have a torch. Like the guy in the middle has got a torch. And you see that they look like they're adventuring types. You can see one guy's like got a bunch of ropes. And they look, like I said, they look humanoid from the distance you're at, because there's, the issues with light, but they seem to be making their way to the south, past you.
As long as it doesn't look like they got a bunch of temple loot with them.
I was just going to ask, what does it look like? They're heavily laden with fresh loot?
Are there any, like, I don't know, can we see symbols or anything on them? Like, are they wearing any clothes which sort of show us anything about them?
Give me a D6 roll.
6.
No, I mean, not from, there's nothing obvious. There's no like shield that has a symbol on it, or somebody's got a holy symbol around their neck.
We're not going to be able to stay out of their sight once they get up on us, are we?
That was a question, right? Are they gonna come close enough to see us?
I mean, considering the light conditions, it looks, if they're using a torch, it means they don't see very well. There's a remote chance they could spot you, but I would say it'd be, obvious they're going to run into you.
My vote is to let them pass. No picking fights you don't have to pick, There's enough down here that wants to eat us anyway.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah. Same.
All right. We have consensus. We're going to let them pass.
Basil might try to hear anything that they're trying to say. Try to eavesdrop on them. But other than that.
Yeah, give me a roll for that. Give me a D6 roll.
4.
They're talking kind of you get the impression that they're pissed. They don't seem to be in a very good mood.
Uh-oh. That doesn't bode well for us. Sounds like they found an empty temple. Came all this way for naught.
Maybe, maybe not. We'll see.
So it's Basil. I would suspect maybe Basil kind of stepped a little bit closer to them, not like, up to them. I mean, he has the ability to do that. And it's kind of listening, and you're walking. There's like these dunes, and kind of you see them crest over a dune, and they go down. And at that instant, you hear like a scream, like one of them screams out, and there's the noise. It sounds like fighting.
He'll try to crawl up slowly but try to stay out of sight and see if he can peek over the edge and see what's going on.
You see that the torch is on the ground, and the 3 of them are fighting with something. It looks like whatever it was came out of the dunes and like grabbed them, and like they're just I would say that everybody probably hear faint screams at this point.
Do we want to help them because there's 3 of them? Whatever it's fighting might also try to fight us, or do we want want them to try to handle it and probably die. But maybe this thing gets a full belly and leaves us alone.
I know what will
Are you
Basil do?
channeling Karn or Basil there? You're channeling
Yeah.
Basil there, definitely.
I think we should come closer and see if we can help. If we're able to beat, if whatever this thing would be easier to defeat with numbers on their side, on that side, then we could.
Yeah, as long as it isn't our dwarf friends jumping them.
Okay, so you guys are all move up to the
Crest.
Yeah.
Heroes
you
don't hide in shadows. Heroes go and help the less fortunate.
Are you running down there?
He starts stomping towards it. Yeah.
Okay.
Typical paladin. There goes our stealth.
So whatever this thing is you realize you thought it was a bunch of small things, but it's actually one big thing. And these large like tentacles are coming out of the dirt and grabbing these guys and like pulling them in. And you see that they're fighting and they're pushing the dirt away. They're trying to like, because they're almost like being pulled down and being buried. And the torch is just kind of laying there on the ground, giving off a little bit of light. And the three of them are just flailing around.
The paladin has decided we're engaging, so we're engaging.
I don't know actually if it's smart for the paladin to go wading into that. But he's thinking along the lines of we have lots of ranged weapons, don't we? Does this thing look like it's sort of mobile or immobile?
All you see are tentacles. You don't see anything other than that.
See, all I can think is the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah. That would probably be a pretty good visual. Yeah.
Yeah. So ranged weapons make more sense than
Makes sense if we can hit tentacles like with rocks. Yeah.
So Karn hollers, does anybody have a rope?
They do.
Yeah, I've got a rope.
Toss me a rope, quick.
Fine. Let's start charging you people using my supplies.
I'll give you my share of the treasure, or most of it at least.
Yeah.
He says he's wanting to get. He wants to stay out of length of the tentacles if he can, and try to toss one of them a rope and try to drag them out, and see if he can start rescuing them.
Whole place you said was rocks, so I've got plenty of sling ammo anyway. I'm going to start pegging the thing.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to do attacks.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Sling. So yeah, it's normal. No, actually, it's at extreme range right now. Like so, that's a negative. Isn't it? Negative.
-1 for
And -1 to hit. No. And the issue would be light because there's a little torch down there. So I mean, you can kind of see these darker images flailing around. So I would say it's like with the range and the light issue, I'd say it's a -3.
Yeah.
Go ahead and attack.
No, first time's going to be a miss.
Okay. So you hurl a rock down there. So you can hear like yelling and like screaming or whatever, and then it suddenly gets a little bit softer or less. There's not as much of a chorus. If you're watching, if you can see in that distance, you see like one of the guys is like up in the air, and then he kind of goes limp, and the tentacle comes down. You just see him get submerged into the dirt. and the loose rock.
Boy.
That was the last of them.
No, there's 2 more. There's still fight.
Okay. Okay.
Are you guys attacking?
Karn's throwing rope.
I don't know what I could even do.
Well,
Throw rocks.
I'm thinking,
Flying
brother,
all around here.
this looks like one of the first things that we can actually arm wrestle. So maybe if one of us like beats it in an arm wrestle, then the other one can just like hit it while it's down.
I don't know if this thing looks like it would respect the rules of the wrestling, brother.
Well, the good thing is that I've learned some dirty tricks from a dirty hot mama, so I can probably beat it.
If you're sure of yourself, I can back you up, brother. But I don't think it's a good idea.
I know some dirty tricks, brother. It'll be fine. Hoo.
Cool.
All right, so are you charging down there to fight it?
Yeah.
It doesn't take very long for
yeah.
one of the tentacles comes out of the sand. Like I say sand, more like dust, loose dirt, right next to you. You can go ahead and attack it if you wish.
Right. All right. I plan on I guess doing an arm wrestle, so a grapple, I guess, on it to try and restrain it, because that's how arm wrestling works, sort of. And I rolled an 18. I'm not sure if
it's a hit.
Okay. I'm not sure how grappling works here, so
Yeah, I mean you've got it grappled.
okay, cool. Yeah, I do that. It's like, I've got it, brother. I'm wrestling it right now.
Seeing ethics be successful in this, Basil's not about to get showed up. So he's going to go and try to bring it down and to wrestle the same one.
Oh.
That's a 16.
Yeah, you grab onto the same one.
So I imagine we're both just trying to bring it to the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
Squeezing it, as he's coming down, trying to maybe pop the tentacle.
Yeah. And I'm pinching it because I'm using my dirty tactics on it. So I'm pinching it and giving it like rubbing my knuckles into it and stuff, being cheap.
Okay, what about pincher and eyeball?
Well, it's the day 3 of training. Well, Eyeball's had some more training, but oh no, Eyeball. Swiper's had lots of training, but they should be able to. Are they going to help us arm wrestle this one, or what do you think?
I mean, if they see you do it, you have to tell them not to do it because they will run in and try to do this.
Pincher, stay back. You're not ready yet.
Just throw rocks from a distance.
He looks very dejected.
Yeah. Poor Pincher.
Give me a attack roll for Pincher as he throws a rock at this thing.
Oh, it's a natural one.
It's gonna thump us in the handles.
You do have a hustle point if you think it's worth it. If not, well, I would let you use it for Pincher, but if not, roll. Okay,
you can use it. Oh, that's an 11 on the die.
That's a hit.
All right.
Oh.
And that's 3 damage.
So you see this rock come hurling past you. Is he going after the one you've grabbed or a different one?
I think he would just hurl it, and if he couldn't help on the same one, I think he probably would hurl at try to throw the rock at the same one we're trying to subdue.
Okay. The same way you hit it as you're grabbing this thing, and he hits it, and it just like goes limp for a second and twitches a little bit, and you look down, and the other end of it has come out of the dirt and it's kind of flailing around.
I guess Eyeball, seeing Swiper land a good one, he's like, he wants to show him up as well. So he's gonna that Percival rock which I gave him before, he's gonna I'm assuming he went and picked it up, like found it and picked it up, and he still got it.
Okay.
And he goes to throw at the other end of the tentacle or wherever, just at this tentacle, whatever he can hit.
Okay.
If he can hit.
All right.
And he got a 19.
Yeah.
Damn, one off. And a D4. He got 3 points.
So he throws to, and you see another one like pop up like right behind you, and he hurls it and it hits it, and you hear the thud, and it falls limp to the ground, and the other end just comes flying up out of the dirt and flops around on the ground.
Day 3 of training, yeah.
And they're both standing up there, and they both look at each other and they go, "Hoo, hoo, hoo."
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Basil looks back and has a tear in his eye, and he's rarely been more proud.
Yeah.
So
Ethics is inspired. Yeah.
what is Karn doing?
Karn was trying to get a rope to the closest of the two that were struggling so much to pull them away.
All right. Give me a strength roll. Well, first, give me an attack roll. I'm sorry. Give me an attack roll first. You're throwing the roof. Let's go there.
20.
Natural?
Okay, perfect.
Straight 20. Straight natural 20.
Yeah, you can
Nice.
tell me wherever you wanted the throw to go. You tell me where you put it.
Right into the guy's hands, hopefully. Or
Okay,
lasso
yeah.
an arm or
You
something
throw
like
it.
that,
He's he's like this, and he grabs it like some like manna from heaven. Give me a strength roll. Whatever your strength is, add 4 to it and roll under that.
Okay, I got to roll under a 19 then. I rolled. I can't read that. It's small. 4.
So you pull. This guy comes flying towards you. The tentacle you can hear an audible as it flies in the air and lands on the ground and flops around for a little bit. And he's been released.
So those tentacles that are flopping around, they're taken out of the fight, or
They
because
seem
they've
to
been
be.
detached?
They flop or they detach and seem to flop around for a little bit and then just kind of lay limp there.
Okay, I guess that's Karn's action.
Okay, you've got there's Nod and whomever else.
The human, I'll tell Nod to pick up a rock and chuck it, Why not?
Okay. Give me a roll for him, just -1, because he can see.
Right, he can see. Well, he shows me the hell up because he rolled a 17. 4 damage.
Yep. Nod picks up a rock, and you're kind of doing your, you've got some hand gesture. He hurls it. You see him hit one of those tentacles, and it flops in the air, tears out. And he looks at you, and he grabs his pickaxe and is jumping up and down.
The hangers on are doing better than us. Okay.
Yeah.
So you see Majdi, he begins to make his way closer. He starts like moving through the dirt and dust, and he's making his way closer to the fight. This thing hasn't gone yet. Shit. More tentacles come out of the ground. So we got the Bessex Brothers right there. Attack number 1. We'll say Basil. Attack number 1. That is a 14.
That hits.
That's 9 damage
Oof.
as you are hit, and like these little spiny little spikes come out and prick you. Give me a save versus paralysis.
Oh fuck! What have we done?
I make it. I got
Okay, you're not
16.
paralyzed, but it's like you're hit with a porcupine. Ethics. That is definitely a hit. Take 5 damage. Save versus paralysis.
Yep. Yeah, over.
Okay.
So safe. Yep.
Again, it's like you're being struck. How close are you, Karn?
I was trying to stay, the rope's distance away.
So 50.
It'd probably be a little less than 50, like 30.
All right. So the guy you just saved, you're even. That guy's odd. 5. So it's him. The attack goes to him. Oh, that would have been 10 damage. But apparently St. Cuthbert has protected you. That's only an 8. And a tentacle comes out right between you guys. And now you can see these tiny little spines come out as it tries to get you. And then you can see on him, he's got like a shitload of them all over his arm. Goes after Majdi, and he kind of ducks, moves out of the way. Pinch. Everybody else is out of range at this point. Initiative rolls.
Oh boy. I got a +1.
I got a 5.
Just take it.
I got a 6. +1.
All right. You guys are up.
Karn shouts out, never get into an arse kicking contest with the porcupine.
All right, same song, second verse. Seeing what happened there, I'm not getting any closer. I rolled an 18 to hit this time.
All right. Which tentacle are you going for?
Probably the one that's closest to Karn, because that would be closest to me.
Okay.
2 damage this time, not impressive.
Okay. It's swarming on the ground. You hit it, and it flops over, and the end comes ripping out of the ground. It kind of flops around and just lays there.
Okay, well, I'll give the nod to throw another rock. Damn, the boy is hot. 17.
Okay.
But 1 damage.
You know what? That's all you got to do, because he strikes one that comes up out of the ground and pegs it with a rock, and it collapses to the ground again. And the end comes ripping out.
Okay. That's me.
How many look to be left that we can see at least?
Give me a D6 roll.
God, not another 6. 6.
It's hard to tell. I mean, there's not a lot of light, and it's hard to discern how many are left.
Karn throws the rope in the general direction of Basil and Ethics and starts backing up, dragging the ones he saved along with them. And shouts out, "Didn't I suggest ranged weapons?" Can Basil Wilberforce enter the fray with his bow?
Yeah.
Or should I?
I mean,
leave
yeah.
him
If you want to
out?
bring him in the fight, he could shoot the bow. Yeah.
He's gonna get way, way away. Like,
So
like
he's,
long range way away.
yeah. So
he's shooting into the air and like
So yeah, it's like a -4 to hit.
Oh, a -4 to hit from long range
Yeah,
because
you're
of how
getting way
dark it is?
away. You're safe. Its armor
Okay.
class, I'll tell you, is not very good.
Yeah, he's going to try anyway. Just for shits and grins. Well, he got a 16, or is that an 18? 16 -4. Oh,
That's a hit. Another one flops to the ground. You guys start to see all these long, they're about probably 8 to 12 feet long tentacles just laying out, flopping onto the ground, coming out.
Yeah, do you know what I'm thinking, brother?
Well, we should live to fight another day because that hurt like hell.
That's a good point, but I was thinking it was pool day, and we were gonna pull this sucker out of the ground, and maybe whatever's attached to this tentacle will come up with it.
holy shit.
I've got. Brother, I'm gonna live to fight another day. I can't take another. I don't want to take another one of those hits. Did you see the spines on that thing?
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, there were some big spines. I definitely got hit by it myself. But you do have like that not frail potion because you're sounding pretty frail right now.
You're right, brother. This isn't like me. And
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I got dragged you into this out of character. So sorry.
I rolled.
Everyone, I'm sorry.
I rolled above a 50, which was he couldn't resist.
Okay.
So he's gonna Basil's gonna pull out the strength.
Okay. Give me a D6
and
roll.
Down it.
Yep.
2.
Okay. Add 2 to your strength. You have 2 doses left. So it's greater strength. It's 1d6. And it will last for I'll let you roll. Give me a D4 roll.
2.
So it will last for 2 turns, which is 20 minutes.
Oh, at 15 is still a +1, so it's not gonna it doesn't improve my strength at all.
Oh,
Other than making me look good.
making you more defiant, yeah.
But it'll also help you on a strength check.
It is true.
Which you may be doing if we're ripping out a tentacle out of the ground, you know.
All right, I'm feeling better, brother.
I'm so sorry.
Let's pull this sucker out. So we'll attempt to grab the tentacle that we're on because we're still grappling this one, right?
Yeah.
The one came up and the one you grabbed ripped out of the ground, and another one hit you. So you could try to grab that one. Obviously, not grab the spines that are coming out of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the other one that hit me. And try to pull that one.
Give me an attack roll.
It's a 17.
You do that. You hit it, and as you reach and grab it, and just a quick pull, you rip it right out, and the end comes flying out, and some more dust.
It didn't pull out anything else. It's just tentacles which are coming out.
Okay. Give me a D6 roll.
1.
Roll damage.
Okay. That's 6.
This one does not rip out of the ground. You tug, and there's something attached. You can kind of feel a tearing, like you grab into it, and you can kind of rip it really isn't very tough. Kind of like digging your hands almost like into it, and you're turning it, and you can feel it ripping.
I think I got something, brother. I feel it tearing.
You found its underbelly. Hell yeah, brother. Hit it in its weak spot. Come on down here, eyeball. Take a hit.
Before you can finish the sentence, he has charged down the hill. He is going to attack roll. Give me an attack roll.
All right, attack roll. 18. Boy,
That's a hit.
boy.
Which one is he going for?
The one which Basil's got
All right.
lifted up out of the ground. Yeah.
D4 damage.
D4 incoming. 2.
Okay, yeah. He runs up and punches it.
Hoo.
All right, that was eyeball. What about Pincher?
Pincher, I would imagine, would be just like agitated seeing this on the side, and he couldn't even contain himself if eyeball was running, so he would be charging down and attempting to do the same thing, because he's not going to get shown up by somebody who is on day 3 of training when he's been training for a lot longer. So he's gonna come up and attempt to help Basil pull for a 9 on the die.
So its armor class is 10, but he has a +1, and he can see, so he actually does hit it. Give me a D4.
It's 1.
One more didn't have, so he runs up and does the same thing as he's grabbing it, trying to tear at it.
Ethics is sort of like scouting it, looking for a groin shot really for this thing, because he's getting dirty. He's getting, and he lines up a punch to strike the underbelly of this.
Basically, you're hitting a big tentacle that it just hasn't ripped out of the ground.
It hasn't ripped out of the ground, so it's still just attached. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it worth pulling out further?
No, I mean it's worth continuing to attack because you realize that.
All right. Well then, find a soft spot and get ready to strike.
Okay.
Incoming brass knuckle punch. 19.
That's a hit.
Give me a bloody 20. Fuck. All right, D6. 5.
Yeah, you guys are just punching, ripping into this thing, like pieces and parts of it are just falling off, like wet, gooey mess is just falling out of it. Some of the spines just kind of fall to the ground.
You're doing it, brother. Keep it up. I imagine you're like you know how like the person who holds the punching bag, you're that guy. Like we're just all
Okay.
That's how it feels.
Who's up next? Is Karn, right?
Yeah, I think
Basil?
so. Yeah, Karn and Basil. So what about the other guy who was caught up in the tentacles being flayed around? Is he still caught up in the tentacles too?
One guy has completely disappeared. The other guy, you can maybe see his form kind of buried in some of the sand. He's not moving.
And they're fighting one of the.
Four of them are punching this one tentacle. They're just like, one's grabbed it, and they're just.
Karn's not going to leave his friends in there doing that, but he was first trying to get people out.
Yeah.
To do the rescue thing, and he was hoping they would come back and fight smart, but he's not going to leave them down there fighting without him. and he goes back down to the attack while Basil bravely stands as far away as he possibly can and still hit with a bow.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, you're what? You're close enough that you could run down there and attack.
Okay.
Are you
That's
attack?
pretty-
Okay, with your sword.
Yes.
Okay.
Does he is he seeing what's going on with them trying to pull something out of the ground?
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
try
you'd
to,
figure out. Yeah, they're trying
stab?
to. Yeah, you would figure out like all these other ones didn't take much damage at all. In fact, 1 hit point, and they all just kind of flopped off, except for this one.
Okay, and then I drop my dice on the floor as I'm sitting there asking. So I'm gonna try to attack where it's whatever it's connected to that they're trying to
Okay.
pull out of the ground. I got a 19.
Okay.
19. So
Big money.
D6. Yeah, D6. 6 points. Man, I like this D6.
All right. So tell me what you do. So what is it? You run down there,
I'm
moving out of the
running-
way of these other ones that are laying on the ground.
Yeah, I'm running for, whatever that tentacle's attached to that they're trying to drag out of the ground. And I run down there and sort of, take my sword in both hands and try to plunge it down into the dirt, into the body, I'm hoping, at the base of this tentacle.
All right. So everybody except Orion and Nod. So Basil, not Basil, Karn, and the whole Bessex Brothers and their associate crew, the posse. All of you guys give me D6 rolls. Let me know if it's a 1 or a 2.
Okay.
5.
Okay. Now Pincher and Eyeball.
Eyeball.
Pincher got a 3.
Okay. Oh, okay. So as you stab this thing, it's kind of a screech, and all of a sudden, all of you. So what Orion would see is Karn doing this, and the whole mound, like this whole bottom area, just caves in. You all get like sucked in for a brief second, like, and then a loud like pop, and you are thrown into the air. This matter, goo, everything just kind of flies in the air, and then you all kind of land in like piles of goo and like dust. You miss all the rocks that are around, and it's just like a plume of stuff comes just flying in the air. And
Because we've all joined the Guild of Many Colors.
and falling onto the ground in all these little spots are pieces. Now you can see like they look like gold pieces are like falling from the sky, and they're landing all around you. And that's a good place to stop.
Awesome. I'm using this D6 to roll up my next character. 6 again.
Wow.
Yeah, that's 1. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Majdi did not. He did not land on the rocks. Yeah. You will have collected 94 gold pieces at least, and there'll probably be some other stuff. And the other guy who was sort of partially in is paralyzed, but he is alive.
Nice.
And then hopefully, in the next session, we should get to the Shrine of the Nine.
Very cool.
Okay.
That was fun.
Good.
Sorry, convincing you to almost kill yourself, Dustin.
It's fun. It's all right, man.
You guys did the heavy
Convincing him
lifting
to
on that one.
almost kill himself was fun. Okay, I hear that.
It was, I left it up to a roll, and the roll said that your goading made sense.
So yeah, this thing basically, I kind of obviously it's on the it's part of the it's a jellyfish, but this is obviously not a jellyfish. But it said if the tentacle takes 1 point of damage, it comes off. So I was like, well, how many tentacles does this thing have? So I rolled, it had 30.
Oh,
And then Dustin was like, well, is this one attached? And I'm thinking, well, there'd probably be one that would be attached. Okay, I'll give you 1 in 6 chance. And I wrote it down. He rolled a 1. So you grabbed onto the right one.
Hell yeah.
Because when it did hit, it was lethal.
That sucker was dangerous. One more hit, and I think both of those guys would have been out or likely out.
Yeah, it's going to get messy if they hit again. Yeah.
That 10 points of damage would have taken Karn 3 under.
Yeah. I gave you a 50-50 shot.
Yeah. Well, he has a good armor class too, so.
Yeah. And this thing was pretty easy to hit. I just figured just the tentacles get knocked off, and that's kind of what Majdi was running down there, because in case somebody got paralyzed, he would remove their paralysis.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
He's useful.
And Orion, as you're standing on the hill and watching this display, you're thinking, this will be another great song, another great story I can tell, as almost as good as my reaching second level.
Okay. I hear you.
Nice.
Very
Hear you on that one. I'm actually working on a comedy routine, though. One straight man and 2 crazies. I can see it taking off.
All right, guys, I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah, take care.
All right, take it
Good
easy.
night.
Bye.
I say, well, I'd share some of this brown color I've got, but that's like my hot mama's juices, so I can't share that.